What is going on, Benchwarmers? Welcome back to another episode where we have a lot of upsets, some crazy predictions, and just some controversy calls to go over. All from this Premier League. Well, can't even talk right now. This is already getting to me. All from this Premier League week action, game week action. Damn, I'm fucked up right now. Holy shit!
You
good?
Have you had?
I had 3 sips, and I'm like, whoa.
I think you're still fucked
I haven't
up
really.
Saturday,
Actually, before we continue, let me just text my girl. Babe, I'm really hungry. We should get food because we didn't go food shopping yet. And if I finish this, if I have another one of these, then I'm gonna be in trouble. Babe, I'm hungry. Can we get something?
It's a shambles of a start right now.
Babe, I'm hungry. Feeding.
All right.
She could be the special guest later on and just drop food off to us.
We should have celebrated our 100 subscribers with a nice little platter last episode. And we should have done it this episode for not doing the last episode. So we'll do it next episode for not doing it this episode.
Make it when we do 200.
Yeah, actually do
As
it.
always, I am one of your hosts. My name is Eric. I got Nick.
Nick.
John, a.k.a. Gat.
There you go.
Until we find a nickname.
Me, Marco, the right now busy one.
The busy one. All right. So, look, there's a lot to go over. I have a lot of things here that we definitely got to discuss today. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but before we get started, I have to ask, how are you guys? How have you been? And have I missed anything since the last time we've seen each other?
Well, I've been pretty good. I can't complain. Just keep on moving.
No more pineapples?
No more pineapples. No.
How's your toe? It's good now? I'm sure by now
no,
it's gotta be good.
No, well, the nail's like starting to fall off, so that's pretty good.
The fuck?
I've had like, back to the toenails, I've had like 3 loose toenails this past year.
Yo, bro,
I stub my toe a lot.
Toenails?
Cut your
Watch where you're
toenails.
stepping, bro.
Just keep
my toenail. Like,
keep your sneakers on or something. Like,
Yo, I have a funny story actually. Not a funny story, kind of like a scary, but that turned out to be funny. So this past weekend, so Marco was here and we had like a little puppy shower for one of my boys. And as the night was wearing out, it was really cold outside of the night. And there's like a little thing of water that usually collects on my front porch, which I'm trying to fix, but some water collects there, so it froze. It was fucking freezing outside. Apparently, I forget where I was at. I was somewhere here, but Josue, our lovely Spurs fan. Oh, you heard what happened?
no, I could just tell where this is going.
Apparently, he was one of the first ones to leave. He left, but then he comes back inside and he's holding his head saying, "Guys, it's icy outside." And then he leaves, and I go to look at my camera, and all I have is a video of him just sitting there, just questioning his life. It was like I was scared because he was holding his head. I was like, "Oh shit, did he hit his head?" Like, "Oh fuck, that's
It
dangerous."
was just his ass.
Yeah.
No, but he did it his head.
Oh,
But
did
he
it?
said he
Went
managed.
back?
Yeah, he said he managed to like catch himself. So that's why I was like, "Oh shit." I checked on him the next day because I was a little worried. But then when he told me he was good, I was like, "Okay, now I can laugh about this."
So there's a video of him.
I have a video on my
There's
phone
a video
saved.
of him sitting
Just sitting
down,
there
questioning life decisions.
on the ground.
So editors in the room, we should clip that when we talk about the
Editors in
game.
the room.
Oh yeah.
When we talk about the game, you should just clip that for whoever's watching this on YouTube and just like see that in little.
I feel bad putting it out there.
For real,
It was
ask
funny.
him first. You have to ask him
Yeah,
first.
I'm not about. I'll say what happened, but I won't put the video up because
Yeah.
I felt really bad.
That would be
Wait
funny.
till
Yeah,
next
has
morning.
to ask him first.
Checks his IG stories. Look at the video.
Of him just sitting there like, "Oh, what the fuck?" But yeah, that's what happened this weekend. Unfortunately, Jose's not here today, but he will definitely be here on Wednesday. Our Chelsea fan Juan Alex, who was supposed to be here today, unfortunately got tied up with work, so he will be back. Why am I getting a phone call right now? He'll be back here next Monday, hopefully, for sure this time. Want to give us a like, a follow, subscription, all that is greatly appreciated. You can do all that in the description down below. All of our socials are there. If you want to send us an email for any reason whatsoever, for junk mail, just give us some love there because we really don't get any kind of emails besides our monthly subscription to the podcast, which you got to pay for. So you want to see something a little bit different than them showing us of us spending our money. So Benchwarmers.com. But yeah, with all that being said, if you guys are ready to go, we can get right into it.
Let's do it.
Let's kick it.
All right. So the first game on the docket here, we have Brighton losing at home to Liverpool. The only thing I have to say here is Luis Diaz is off to a flying start. But Nick, I'm going to give you the platform right now to kind of just break down the game for us and how excited you are seeing how the table is looking right now. And obviously, we'll talk about the game that did happen today.
So I think the last podcast after I think it was last Monday, we reviewed the West Ham game at home, and I talked about like control and like lack of control at times, especially like during the latter stages of the games. I thought this game away at Brighton, I thought Liverpool was superb. I thought Klopp managed it like so well. Brighton had a couple chances, but there's like this pass map of Brighton, and most of their passes are just high and wide. They never really. I think they had like 8 to 9 touches inside Liverpool's box. So Klopp just kept them high and wide in spaces where really they can't hurt us. And overall, I thought like just off the ball work, I thought was superb. Like shout out to Naby Keita. I think this season he's been like severely underrated by Liverpool's fan base. He's really only had, at least in my opinion, I think he's only had really one poor game, and that was away at Atletico, where he kind of let Joao Felix have his fun with him. But yeah, no, he's been superb this season. As long as Thiago and Keita stays fit, I think for me, I would have loved to see Thiago and Keita start a midfield game together. But I think the reason why they haven't started the game together is just because you need to have at least one of them. And you never know, like, if you play two of them can get off injured. Keita and Thiago is obviously injury prone. So I think having at least one of them in the side just brings, like, total control. Like, Naby Keita, before Liverpool bought him at Leipzig, he was, like, a total, like, step-overs player, flashy player. Now he isn't really the same. Probably due to his injuries. Like, the guy has had, like, so many hamstring injuries. You can't do step-overs every time like you've done before. But, yeah, he just offers control like no other. I think he's been great this season. Like, his mentality has really, like, kicked off just because last season, away at Real Madrid, Klopp took him off. That was such a weird game. I think Klopp started Milner, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum. For some reason, he benched Thiago in a big UCL game. And he brought up Keita. Like managers normally, like, if they make subs early, they'll make subs at halftime, right? This time, Klopp brought him off, like, at the 44th minute, right before halftime. And
that's kind of hurtful.
That's very hurtful. He didn't even acknowledge him when he subbed him off. So shout out to Naby Keita and his mentality, just because I think he's bounced back perfectly. And yeah, on the game itself, I thought Joel Matip as well. Like, his ball playing attributes is crazy, bro. Like, the way like he acts like a DM where he can just break through the lines with his passes, but also dribble through the opposition. Like, it's just so easy. Like, if that was Trent or anyone else in the Liverpool squad, like Fabinho or Van Dijk can ping those passes, they got all the plaudits. But shout out to Joel Matip's ball playing attributes.
Now, I know it's definitely way too early to say that, it's you guys are going to take over Man City. There's still a lot more games to play out. You guys still have your game in hand. You guys still have a game against Man City. But just look at the run of form you guys are in. It's kind of, honestly, you guys seem unstoppable at the moment. How likely how much do you think the league right now is in your hands as opposed to in Man City's hands? Because hypothetically, let's say you guys go both on an undefeated streak until the end of the season. You guys beat the game you have against them. You'd be above them in goal differential as of right now, unless they go on fucking scoring 10 goals every other game, which I don't highly doubt that. But given the current form you guys are in, do you feel like it's more in your hands to lose it, or do you think there's more work on Man City's side that has to happen in order for you to feel that way?
Mo Salah posted an Instagram post. I think it was yesterday. He was like, "It's still in our hands," and I believe the guy. I think it's Liverpool's hands. Honestly, it all depends on the Etihad. Like, pretty much the game at the Etihad between Man City and Liverpool, it's all pressure on Liverpool, because if City get away with a draw, they're chilling. If Liverpool get away with the win, then
it's over.
I think the momentum kind of shifts over. That's what I'm really looking at. That obviously, like, that's like stating the obvious, looking at one of the biggest games in Liverpool's recent history. But yeah, that game is crazy. Like, I think before I said, like, I trust City more to, like, ride out the season in terms of just picking up points here and there, really not getting, like, lose track of focus. But yeah, like, right now it's totally Liverpool's hands, just because City had like 12 points ahead of Liverpool at one time. Liverpool are breathing down their neck.
Yeah.
With, was it 4 points behind? If they beat 1 point behind, if they beat Arsenal on Wednesday, it's obviously a big if, but it's in Liverpool's hands, in my opinion.
Well, we'll definitely wait and see, because it's getting very, very intense at that top of that table. But Gat, just a quick question. I want to get your perspective on this. Who would you rather have win, Man City or Liverpool?
Marco?
I'm asking the United fan in the room right now.
Oh, man. If I had to pick, that's tough. Probably City.
Probably City.
I'd say the same for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one really.
Yeah, I think any non-Liverpool fan will probably say City just because they've dominated for so long. It just feels like another one on another notch in their belt.
Exactly what I was trying to
For
say.
Liverpool is like, shit, now they can actually rub it in their face this time because it's not COVID here and there's fans in the stadium and now they're gonna celebrate this shit.
That's why.
So it's like gonna hurt more if you're like a non-Liverpool fan. So no offense to you, Nick, but yeah, I would have to agree with Gay on that.
I think also Liverpool win the league this season. It ties United's overall league trophies on 20.
Ooh, that is gonna be a bitter chip to swallow if you're a United fan. But let's bring it over. Just a quick little mention on Brentford. They beat Burnley 2-0. Tony with the brace, but Eriksson with an assist. So happy to see him getting on the stat sheet and doing some work for them, man. Brentford managed to get. I think they were flirting with relegation. Oh no, they were like 6-7 points clear. Burnley, on the other hand, they just got a little. They took a step back there. So we'll see what happens with them. Now this is the game that I know Gat is eager to talk about. And I'm gonna give you the option. I have a question to kind of start it off with, or if you wanted to just kind of like say what you want to say, and then we'll get into the questions.
No, shoot, go for it.
All right. Well,
What's up?
Ronaldo and company beat Spurs 2-0. Let's address the elephant in the room.
2-0?
I'm sorry, 3-2. What the fuck? I'm thinking right now.
I'm thinking there's is there a punchline, because technically they only scored one goal, so I'm trying to think does the math add up, and it didn't.
I'm sorry. 3-2. Yes. Ronaldo with the hat trick. Had one conversation with Tom Brady as he was right there witnessing it, and Tom Brady decided to come out of retirement because if Ronaldo can do it, so can he, right? But the elephant in the room that I want to address right now, and I know you two are probably going to get a kick out of this. Nick and I are probably not so much, but I think we have to talk about it one more time. Maybe not one more time. We'll probably come up again in the future, but it feels like this may be like one of the last times we talk about it. Is Ronaldo better than Messi? Nick, I know. Do you think Ronaldo?
Do we want to answer this?
Listen, no. Look,
807.
800. Not only that.
Wow, shock. The older player scores more goals.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's also true.
Exactly.
Very true.
But then again, we look at Zlatan numbers. It's nowhere near that as well. If you put Messi in United, does he do what Ronaldo does? If you put Ronaldo at PSG, does he do what Messi does? That's what my question to you is.
Pretty much. Ronaldo can do what Messi's doing at PSG.
Or more.
Well, what has he done?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Like, do you think?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Ronaldo
So,
because we're seeing
Ronaldo
we've
can
always
do-
said Messi
Yeah.
can't do it outside of La Liga.
Yeah.
We've always said that, and I was on that camp as well until Ronaldo went back to United. Then I decided I hated him again.
Yeah.
So now that he's back at United, and I really despise this conversation right now. I have to address the fact that Ronaldo is doing it at United, although it's been up and down for United in the season so far. But would you say this is the straw that broke the camel's back? That Ronaldo is just overall better than Messi because he can still do it at his age in the Premier League. So that's my question to you guys and to you too, Nick. So, Guy, if you want to go for it first.
go first.
it's your team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, you take both of them and the forms that they've been in. It's even when Ronaldo's not performing, you can tell that he still wants it. Messi doesn't necessarily look that way at PSG, whether he's doing good or not.
So body language. That's a
Yeah,
good point. And
absolutely.
you're right.
So just to answer your first question, I absolutely do think that you take Ronaldo, put him in PSG instead of Messi, and Ronaldo will still do good. And then vice versa, I don't think Messi would have been able to do anything. I don't think in the way Messi's just reacting or just being right now, I don't think he'd do good anywhere.
No.
I don't know, man. I mean, there was always going to be a give and take on who is the better. I'm going to base it strictly off of the fact that in this case, yes, just for the simple and that Ronaldo can adapt to different teams faster because he's done multiple moves. We were counting him on Saturday, you and I, and we moved to different teams 5 times. Messi hasn't. Messi has only had one team only. He's been there he was 14, I think, 13, till the age of 34. I think that's what he is right now. And then he moved. And then to a new country, new team. Yes, he has Neymar there, but I think there's a difference between consistently moving or having a couple of different opportunities to see the different types of football and then just going to a new team completely when you're pretty up there in age and basically that's going to be your last team. I feel like that because of that, I think Ronaldo does have the upper hand. But I'll forever say, if you ask me who's better, I'll say they're both the goats, and that's just the simple and the easiest way to not answer the question.
You stand on the fence, yeah. I like how you escape your way out of that question, but Nick.
Well, no, like I said, I saw a light a couple years ago. I'm not gonna change because a hat trick versus Tottenham. There's no way. There's no way. Why would I change?
I mean, look,
No,
it's look. I agree with you, but it's a legit argument. Ronaldo is an aging player, but again, the numbers, he's leading United in goals, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's pretty much carrying them right now at this moment. And I mean, Messi can't even buy a goal if he wanted to. He got 2 goals, I think, 1 goal.
He's got like in the league like 12 goals already. He's like the second top scorer.
By the way, Premier League, that's a bad look.
You think?
I think it's a terrible look. 37-year-old Ronaldo, second place goal scorer right now. In the Premier League, well, we all say Premier is the best league in the world.
I mean,
it is, but like,
if that's the case and there's not many goal scorers, then there's also it could be a bad look, but it could also be a good look. That means that's so competitive that not anybody can score. So it really depends on how you're looking at it.
Yeah,
I think the Premier, like, there's just lack of like quality, like so many quality strikers. Like 10 years ago, you have Ronaldo, Rooney, Thierry Henry, Didier Drogba, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Alan Shearer. I mean, just so many names. Now you have like obviously Salah, Mane, Raheem Sterling. Like,
you don't have those
Mane's
goal
like
scorers, those lethal weapons in front of the box.
Right, and Sterling and Mane have like declined since like their 2019 peak. There's not really like that many high class forwards that we had.
If we were seeing Vlahovic in this league right now, I think we would be seeing maybe like a resemblance of that fucking Vlahovic.
And also another one is like defenders. Like nowadays, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, come on, Paolo Maldini, Alessandro Nesta, Fabio Cannavaro. And that's just Italian defenders. John Terry, Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, like Thiago Silva in his prime. Like nowadays, like you have Van Dijk. They're still quality defenders, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Those it seemed like there was more quality back then. Now, but not, I mean.
Quality is also a different type of football.
Different type of football, and the quality now, like I think if you put players from now and in the game back then,
they'll dominate.
Just dominate, just faster, better, stronger, and more skilled. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just wanted to definitely bring that up because I know that's been going all over the socials, and the chat's been going crazy with it. So I have to acknowledge it. It's what it is. Messi's still the best in my opinion. Ronaldo just got lucky. But Gat, talk to me. So 3-2. Ronaldo gets the hat trick. I'm trying to find my notes right here.
Ronaldo got lucky with that screamer.
No, you think I got lucky?
You just said Ronaldo got lucky. Did he got lucky with that screamer? That was what he was doing that whole time.
No, he got lucky that he was playing against Spurs. It wasn't anybody else that would have happened. That screamer, he was literally by himself in the middle of the pitch for like
that's true
a whole fucking minute until anybody got near him. So yeah, I'm gonna say bad defense versus a striker. So yeah, fuck your low point right now. Go talk to me about United. Overall reaction, man. I guess. A lot of things on the United fan base I've been hearing is great result, but not a great performance. Would you agree on that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We started off pretty good, because we just needed to get out, and we needed to get out on the front foot and just take it to Spurs. And as soon as we got the first goal, you can just see it almost immediately, or maybe 10 minutes or so after that, we kind of just took the foot off the gas, which made sense because we spoke about it last time. Spurs thrive on the aggressive play and the high line, so it made sense that we got the goal early, and then we started to sit back a little bit because they don't thrive in that when they have to try to break teams down. But I mean, good on Spurs. They didn't back down. They came back several times. It was a little worrying just because in the second half when Maguire helped them out and scored them a goal, Ralph decided to switch again to a 4-2-4. So I admire the risk and reward that he's deploying, but as soon as I saw that 4-2-4, I just had a feeling that it wasn't gonna go our way. But luckily it did. It worked out. But we definitely took our foot off the gas. We should have just kept going the full 90. Every game should just be that way, because the minute we start taking our foot off the gas, someone's gonna punish us. But overall, we started off hot. We did drop off a little bit. We did show signs of life at the end, right before the third goal, and it's just poor defending all around on Spurs' end, because that third goal probably shouldn't have happened.
Well, yeah, let's unmark the best header of a ball in football history.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Like Ronald's kind of lucky he went against a shit defense in a way. But nah, I mean, you have to give him all the credit where it's due. Like
he got in his.
he had to score the goal.
Like,
He had to
overall,
be
like,
there.
his overall performance was like really good. Like he linked the play like really well.
That's so good. How you brought
Yeah.
that up because that was actually gonna be my point. That it feels like when Ronaldo, like when United do good, when Ronaldo's on the pitch, Ronaldo has to be
The one
has to be on point.
has to be the one.
Because if you look at his past performances, his passing wasn't there. I think I was looking at the stat earlier. His overall passing throughout the season has been like around 80%, which isn't bad, but it's not something who's going to drop in and link up. This game, he was at 90% pass accuracy, which is
He was playing CDM at one point.
exactly, and that's maybe. I mean, I guess the hip flexion must have healed up really quickly, in my opinion. But I guess that trip to Portugal.
He has a good
definitely
physio.
helped
He
out.
has a good physio in Portugal. That's why.
Yeah, he had to go on vacation.
He had a
you
good
know,
stretch.
stretch out a little bit over there, and it worked out, man. It worked out. Maybe this was Ragnar's way of kind of lighting a fire under him. But one player I definitely want to mention here, and I feel like it's kind of gone unnoticed, is Fred.
When he has a solid partner that can stay back and actually control,
Yes.
it gives Fred the freedom to just play his own game, and he was phenomenal.
Yes. When you throw McTominay in there, they both kind of look like chickens with the head cut off. But when you throw Matic in there, he kind of stabilizes everything, controls the midfield, and Fred can be more expressive with his football. And you're starting to see that a lot more. I think one of the most consistent players in the Ragnick, at least that I've watched, has been Fred. Being able to adapt to different positions. He's been, I think, all in all starter for almost every game under him. So
Yeah,
I definitely want to.
he had a phenomenal performance. He had a great defensive shift as well. He had a couple moments where he was able to just clean tackles and then just run with the ball before he even had to think about or worry about giving it away. So, phenomenal game.
So
Phenomenal game.
gotta shout him out, but I also gotta give credit to Tottenham's third leading goal scorer right now, which is Maguire.
Own
because of that
goal. Their third leading goal scorer.
His own goals.
That was unlucky. I mean, yeah, Romero was offside the entire time. He probably should have seen that. But if you're in that position, you're not going to want to take the chance anyway. So,
but how good did it feel after Romero screamed? I thought he's an idiot for doing this because he just gave them the bait to kind of get back at them. But as a United fan, when you saw Romero scream in Maguire's face, and then a few minutes later,
payback's a bitch.
You felt good.
It felt good.
Yeah,
it felt good. It was. I mean, I saw it happen. I rolled my eyes. And I'm like, of course he's gonna fucking do that little a-hole. But he got what he does. He got what he deserved. That's what he gets. That's what he gets.
But yeah, man, great chance, great result for you guys, especially going into
going into tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow. And who do you have this weekend? Oh, you have Liverpool this weekend? No.
Yeah, we do.
Those games were postponed.
Oh, were they postponed?
A lot of these games.
Oh, yeah,
this
because
weekend
it was supposed to be
last weekend before international.
Yeah, and then a lot of the games actually postponed.
There's only 4 games this weekend.
Yeah,
that's right.
Really?
That's right.
One
I forgot
on Friday,
about
one on Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday.
It was supposed to be Liverpool.
All right. Well, that's what's up.
Go on.
Want to make a point?
Yeah, my bad. I'm blanking right now. Oh, I was gonna say before you moved on from United, I think Jadon Sancho has been playing really well these past couple months. Not really much on the score sheet or maybe the assist.
His movement on and off the ball has been progressing, and it just shows that all he needed was just playing time. And then he's making so much better decisions each game. It just gets better. Mm-hmm. The way he laid the ball off for Ronaldo for the second goal instead of trying to take the shot himself, which probably most other United players probably would have done, Ronaldo included. Yeah. But so he's getting better. He just needs a consistent playing time, and he's great to watch.
His playmaking is very elite. Even at Dortmund, he was elite at it. I think I'd like to see him in the midfield 3 on the left. Kind of like what Pep does with Grealish. Well, even though like Grealish, whatever you think on him, but like that same position where Pep employs Grealish on the left side of the 3. I really have him advance and link up.
He played today.
He played today.
Apparently, he played really well today too.
I mean, he didn't score, so how well can he play?
Mm-hmm.
You said that you didn't score. How? What a change of football now,
man. Yeah.
Wow.
He's a stat whore.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, James Sancho.
I'm saying just to say shit, but yeah.
He's great, man. He's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's still work that could be done for him. He does have to work a little bit on his defending. He was partly the reason why we conceded. I believe it was the second goal. He could just poor defending on his part, and the ball got whipped in. I think that was the one that caused the penalty, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, he's been flying.
What was the penalty shot again?
It was
handball on Alex.
It was a handball on Alex Telles, which started with I think it was Dyer. Dyer was left alone for too long, and then when Sancho finally actually went to him, he just couldn't cut off the ball.
Now, like, before we move on to the next game, I just one last question, and this is gonna be on Spurs. Statistically, they did have what seemed to be the better game, but that's just slightly. It was kind of broken up between honestly both of them. But how do you guys rate their top 4 chances at this point right now? Given that they just had a big defeat. This is like a top 4 rival right now. They still have Arsenal to play. They still have some big matchups, but did this really put a dent in their top 4 chances? I mean, I already wrote them off, given the Conte remarks and everything. But how do you guys feel? They think they still have a chance
for
top 4,
top 6 maybe.
Top 6, yeah.
I think top 4 is I think this is probably did it for them. This is a huge matchup for both teams just because of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the loser, regardless of how the match would have turned out, the loser would have severely been in trouble. So in this case, it's definitely Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I predicted a couple weeks ago Tottenham still in, but I think they're done. They're just too inconsistent for me. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Too many players who can show up one time like they did against Everton. But again, we added Everton to the 4-team tag. So, but yeah, they're just too inconsistent. I just saw that thing have Norwich on the last day. They'll probably draw that game 2-2.
Anything? Okay, that's what you're I didn't want to like.
No. I was looking at something else that's crazy. I'll bring it up later, but yeah. Yeah, no. It's nothing to do with Premier League. But something I just saw. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Just a quick shout out to Jesse Marsh for winning his game 2-1. Who did they play against? Norwich, that's right. You saw how much it meant to him. I didn't put Norwich. I just put 2-1.
Bamford came back and then he's gone again.
Are you serious? Injury again?
he got some kind of knock, I believe.
This guy is like the most injury-prone player, man. It is, but Leeds got the win. It meant a lot to Jesse Marsh. You can see his reaction after the game.
It was a big win for him.
Big win, and hopefully he's making a name for himself. I'm a big fan of him, so hopefully
he
continues.
It was against Norwich, but it was still. Sometimes you just need that kind of win just to give you that momentum.
If you guys, that's a relegation team you're trying to get rid of right there. So
that's true.
If you gotta fight them out. West Ham beating Aston Villa 2-1. Malenko get on the score sheet and receiving great support from the fans and his teammates on the field. Got kind of emotional there, which is kind of crazy to see. But West Ham, man, I had them dropping off.
I still think they will.
They have Europa.
Which they lost their first leg against Sevilla.
Oh, they did. And are they still in the FA? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they'd be like Kidderminster. I'm pretty sure they are. I think they are.
Do they play? If they play this weekend, then they're not. That's the easiest way.
Oh, Marco?
What?
Never mind.
Oh, never mind. They're not.
No, I'm pretty sure. No, they're not because they play this weekend.
Yeah, I think they'll still drop off. I think that Sevilla game. I think they're content with the 1-0 loss. Like, obviously, you don't want to lose, but home London Stadium against one.
And then also to this past game, Antonio also came off injured. Bowen is still out. So we'll see.
The depth was going to be a big factor, especially with Europe ties.
But what I really took from this game, and it's not really judging the game itself. It's really I like how the teams outside of the top 6 in the Premier League are like looking. So like for example, West Ham, they still like really solid. As long as they keep Declan Rice, Thomas Tuchel, that's a solid base.
Well. He was linked to go to Chelsea, and they can't afford that rice. They have to go to fucking, the Chinese store to get some rice now.
But Leicester as well, they've had a pretty poor season this year. But Wesley Fofana back, I'm sure they recruit well, like they always do every summer. Aston Villa, loads of funds backed by the owners. Phil Coutinho, obviously, Steven Gerrard doing some pretty well stuff there. Yeah. Wolves under Bruno Lage, couple players. Pedro Neto back, Daniel Podence, and the solid midfield of Ruben.
Well, you bring them up. That was the next game I was going to bring up right now. So if you want to jump into it real quick.
Oh, Wolves 1-0 versus Everton. Connor Cody, the Scouser, putting down Everton.
Yo, Everton, man. Relegation. They are literally...
They're tied on points, I believe. They're 22.
I think they are, yeah.
But on goal, because of goal difference, they're just outside.
But definitely, like Nick said, I want to give credit to Wolves. They've been a team who have been knocking around for a couple of years now under Nuno. And it looks like now with Bruno, they've really gone to another level, and they're definitely knocking on the European door. So
And this was
credit to them.
And this was also just one of those games. Expected goals for Everton was 0.4.
But that's what Wolves do.
For Wolves is 0.7.
but
So
that-
it was just
they-
that kind of game. And
But
Wolves,
that's Wolves games though.
Wolves just wanted it more at the end, and just Everton sucked.
Wolves won't let you in. They won't let you get a hit, and they'll scrape out a win 1 or 2-0 if that. Yeah, I think last week they won like 4 or something, which is not very often. But that's a typical Wolves game right there. Everton though, man, it's just I find it hard not to blame Frank Lampard because when you look at the interview he gives and when he says things like, "Oh, our home form is good, but our away form has been bad before I even got here." It's like he's already kind of throwing excuses out there, like, "Oh, it's not my fault." Dude, you're the one putting the team out. You're the one giving them instruction, and they have not looked better. They're again 1-0 to Wolves at home.
Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Everton have only won 2 out of their last like 19 or so games.
Somebody can check that out, but
I remember hearing it. I just don't remember what the exact number, but they won 2 out
Yeah.
of their last ridiculous amount of games.
Everton?
look, yeah. Now, look, relegation. I didn't think we'd be talking about Everton right now in a relegation fight, but it seems to be
10, sorry.
past 10.
Three games in the past 10.
Okay, so it looks like they're very, very likely to go down to the wire in this relegation battle, and the way they're looking, it's very likely they'll get demoted. It's obvious that players like Ray Charleston, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, like they're gonna look for a way out. They're gonna want to leave because they deserve to be in the Premier League, given their talent. If Everton go down, will this be the biggest team that we see get demoted, and possibly will they become the next Leeds?
I can't really think of a team right now. You'd probably give me like 30 minutes to search up teams who've gone pretty big relegated. Didn't like Man City get relegated like in 1990 something like that?
As far as the English league goes, Arsenal's the only team that never got relegated. Hurt.
I never got relegated.
Mhm.
When they get relegated?
No, they never got
Never.
relegated.
Oh, my bad. But I think if they do get relegated and they don't go up that
Well,
season,
They're gonna
Yeah.
lose their players,
yeah, for sure.
so it's gonna be competitive for them.
If they don't get promoted, if they get relegated, yeah, they're turning into the next Leeds.
What did Lampard do at Derby? End up 4th place with them or something?
He actually did pretty well. He developed talents like Mason Mount. He took them to the playoff final, which they lost against Villa, I believe. But he did actually pretty well.
I don't know. Well, doesn't look like it's going too well for him. My only question for you guys for Everton and Frank Lampard is, I mean, I think I've asked you guys before if this continues, will he be here next season? Which I think we all kind of agreed yes. It's not, they just assigned him. But my actual question is, would you have rather taken Big Sam or Frank Lampard, knowing that he's the relegation specialist?
I would have taken Big Sam.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
B-
Yeah.
Before West Brom got relegated last season, wasn't there like that stat that he's never been relegated or something like that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
always hire
Then
him.
yeah.
They always hire for relegation. They sack him.
And they actually they put up a really good fight.
I would have appointed him. Stay safe this season and appoint some new manager. Since appointing Sam Allardyce, have that time between that point and the summer to really find a crucial manager, which Everton really don't do because they've spent like 200 mil on players like Andre Gomes, like Yeti Mina. Like Yeti Mina is decent, but like come on, like you're spending 30 to 40 mil on Yeti Mina. Like we talk about recruitment all the time, like United and whatnot, but like Jesus Christ. Use that time from appointing Allardyce to the summer, find a good manager. Everton will be chilling right now.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. They're definitely they're making it harder for themselves. But let's move on to the next game. Chelsea winning at home to Newcastle. Yes, they left it to very late in the game to get the 3 points. Some controversial moments on the field where there's real kind of red card. Newcastle looking really good actually. They're definitely on the up and up.
They missed like half of their starters this game as well.
Yeah, Bruno looking
And they
pretty nice as
definitely
well.
deserved at least a draw. But
Yes.
Lukaku who?
Lukaku. But I mean, look, this is as much as all we really talk about is what happens on the field, and the match results. We gotta talk about what's happening off the pitch as well. And you just saw the interview with Peter Cech where they're not sure if they're gonna be around tomorrow.
They're taking it day by day.
Taking it
is
day
what
by
he
day.
said.
this isn't a political podcast. We're not gonna talk about politics here. Obviously, we all know what's right, what's wrong. But I'm just kind of I'm more upset with a lot of Chelsea fans and how in denial they are of the corrupt person that's owning the club right now, and how they're cheering his name in the games is kind of it's wrong. It's just wrong.
I mean, in theory, as soon as you hear how close he was to Vlad,
yeah,
that should immediately write it off. But
but look, at the end of the day, you also got to look at it from the fan perspective. We don't choose our owners, and if your owner is throwing money into your club and you're winning silverware, that's what sports watching is. It works to an extent because you kind of forget everything else that goes behind the scenes and you just appreciate what you're receiving at the moment. We get happy, we forget stuff. If things go bad, then you start pulling shit out. So, yeah, it's troubling times for Chelsea. Sanctions, accounts frozen. They can't.
credit cards blocked.
Credit cards blocked. Tuchel will have to fucking drive the bus next game. Who knows? But yeah, man, it's weird time to be a Chelsea
That
fan.
meme of whoever sent the Conte cooking.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. Hopefully next week when we have the Chelsea fan here, we can hopefully Chelsea are still around at that time and we can still talk about them. But if
Blue FC
or London Blue FC, depending if they change their name, it's just so much going on right there. And even if this $2 billion from the Saudi group does get approved, it's not like it happens overnight. It takes a while. If I'm mistaken, I read Chelsea have 30 days to figure something out. If not, they're going to go into administration, which is crazy. That means a 9-point deduction. And again, they might not even finish. They might not finish the season. So
third place, here we come.
No,
Third place.
Honestly, that might be a case.
Automatic.
That might be a case, but
Then maybe
How fucked up is
Spurs have
that?
a
Like,
chance.
honestly, it's pretty fucked up.
it's
but,
crazy, man.
It
It's
is.
crazy, man. But I don't think we've ever. These are uncharted waters right now, so we've never seen this happen to any other club.
Correct.
So we don't know what's gonna happen. There's no, this could probably. There's no way to know. This is the first time we're seeing this, so definitely keep your eye on the news because every day there's new developments coming out. So we'll try to keep you posted as much as we can on that side of it. Arsenal. Let's go to Arsenal now, where Marco just said it. Now we're top four is looking a little more likely, depending on everything that happens outside of football. But Arsenal win at home 2-0. Marco, I'm gonna let you give your 2 cents, and then I'll chime in after.
I just have one word, bro. Party.
It's a party. It's a party. It's a party.
What a change that player has had this season. Mostly I want to say in the past 3 months.
Since that interview he gave. Do you remember the interview he gave where they asked him how do you rate performances, and he said I give myself a 4 out of 10. And for a player to do that, to call himself out like that, it's
because you know that he can give a lot more and he's just not giving it. And kudos to him for being willing to say that and not only say it but then do something about it, right? And yes, this weekend's performance kind of like showed us that 1, he wants it, and 2, he can give it. He can put the balls in, make the runs back, defend, and also distribute, which was beautiful. I mean, there was times that it was concerning to see in the back, just based off of previous matches when we have like that bad pass back and we lose the ball and then that's how they score. There was 1 or 2 times that I was like cringed a little bit. I'm like, it could happen here, but thankfully we were able to get out of it. But aside from that, man, the overall performance of everybody, I personally enjoyed it a lot. It was like previously it's been a very attackive game, a game that we didn't. It doesn't matter if we go 1 up, we're not changing our pressure. We will continue fighting for it and trying to look for that goal, which we eventually did, and Laka got that penalty. But yeah, man. Overall, I mean, I rate the team performance high. I won't give it a 10, but if I had to give it, I'll give it like an 8.5 maybe. But fair. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on my notes here, the very first thing I have here is Odegaard and Party masterclass again. Those 2 right there are really, really becoming pivotal, like the heartbeat of this team. This really changed when Arteta made a tactical switch from instead of having Party and Xhaka as the 2 pivots, making Party the lone man and giving him the responsibility. Because when Xhaka was there, it felt like they were both kind of lost. There was just kind of like, oh, do you do it or do I do it? Or like, little miscommunication there, and that's not to say that couldn't be resolved. But I think the whole idea was to have Partey be the lone man back there, so that way we can be more attackive. Now that he has that responsibility, you're seeing how, again, like Marco said, defensively how great he is. His outlet passes are just insane. The way he can just turn somebody is, for a big guy, it's very, very, very impressive to see. Now we're seeing what he was doing at Atletico Madrid. He had a goal. He almost had he could have had a hat trick in this game, honestly. Great game from him. Odegaard, though, I think he deserves a special shout out just because last season when he came over on a loan, he had his moments. He didn't look that good. Then when the summer came around, and then we were linked to Buendia, we were linked to Madison, we were linked to Odegaard, and it was like, Odegaard was probably, I would say, maybe the second or third option to a lot of Arsenal fans.
I forgot about Buendia.
Yeah, you remember Buendia? We were all talking about, he's got to be him, it's got to be him. I mean, look what he's doing now. He's not doing bad at Villa, but I mean, if you look at what Odegaard, how much he's developed since he's came over to Arsenal, he is. I really think he's gonna be better than Ozil. Not only because of the creativity that he brings, because he has phenomenal awareness on the field, and he can pick out a pass. I don't know if you saw it, but there's one where it looked like he was going to shoot it from the top of 18. He passed Saka. I was like, yo.
A disguised pass.
Like I think you heard it on the TV. Everybody's like, like you heard the gasp, like, we missed this player. We fucking missed this player. And not only that, but his off the ball work is top class. Again, he had the most distance covered in the whole pitch. On the whole game, from everybody on the pitch. So he's I wholeheartedly believe I think he's gonna be the captain. He's the heartbeat of this team. He is the one that's really orchestrating everything. And with him and Partey together, I feel once we get that third midfielder, that's gonna be the upgrade to Xhaka. It's gonna be all right. Our midfield is gonna be set for years to come at least. But yeah, he's one I'm super excited for. Ramsdale. Another great save, great distribution after he's been having a couple of iffy games. He definitely stepped it up this time and got another on-the-line save, which is one I expected to make, honestly.
Yeah, who was the one that took that shot? I can't remember, but even seeing their coach, the reaction of...
it was a set piece. It was
it a set
free
piece?
kick, header, and then he saved off the line.
That's right.
And Brendan Rodgers, he turned around like,
whoa. Like,
he
he
started
celebrated
celebrating
it, and then turned around like, damn, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's exciting to see this team because it's so young. When you look at Ramsdale, Ben White, who had a great game too. You know, he had the last-ditch tackle, saved what could have been a tying goal. Gabriel's looking really good. Tomiyasu, who hasn't been in, I think we're saving him, but we'll see what happens with him. Tierney, again, looks stronger this game after a past couple of iffy performances. The midfield, we already went over that. And then the attacking, the Saka's, Martinelli's, Emil Smith-Rowe's, and Lacazette, a guy who just...
Saka has been a lot better recently than he was. I mean, he's been always good, but every time he's improving a little bit more.
His confidence is just... Every game is getting better and better. And he knows. Before, like, you could see, like, he would want to take a player on and he would just pass it back. He would... But now he has the confidence, like, I'm going to take you on and I'm going to get past you.
Yeah.
And he's fucking
But I
doing
also feel like it's that partnership with Odegaard that he has that allows him to have that confidence. Because he knows that, huh?
Did you watch the interview with Odegaard?
No, I didn't.
Go ahead.
No.
So, to your point, Odegaard said in his interview and this obviously, like I said earlier, it takes time. Sancho, it takes time. You got to build something. Man City, it took time for them to be so dominant. Odegaard said it. We're learning each other. I know where he's going to be. So, as we said earlier on, that's the style of play that I wanted to bring is like always know where your teammate's at. So that way you're not even looking. You just pass the ball and somebody's there. We're starting to see that. All those little those little back heel passes, the dummies that Odegaard does, it's all going to Saka. So that little pod right there between Saka, Cedric, and Odegaard, they're constantly rotating, and I love that.
Which is Cedric has been really
Cedric?
has been really good in my eyes. Like I love Tomiyasu and everything, but he's been doing a really decent performance, attacking wise and everything. Defensively, I'm like, he
hasn't been bad.
But, I mean, but
you said that, I forget what player you mentioned. He's a player that he needs rhythm. He needs to keep playing.
Oh, yeah. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, he's exactly. He's somebody who has to keep playing. If you just throw him in one game, he's gonna be like, he's cold. He doesn't have the rhythm of the game, and then he's not gonna look good. But as long as he has a rhythm and he's been playing like he has, he's gonna be consistent. I do, however, feel like this Wednesday, I don't think it's the right game for him. But we'll definitely talk about that.
Mhm.
But yeah, what I liked a lot is that we didn't have majority of possession, but we did control most of the game, and that to me shows us that we were very defensively aware and didn't leave many gaps for them to get through. So although they had most of the ball, they really weren't doing anything with it. Once they hit a certain pressure point, we jumped on them, and then we either got the ball back or made them go back. So great game, great result heading into this week's matchup. And then that's all I got for Arsenal and Leicester. Anything on that, guys?
Yeah, I saw links to Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Arsenal because we
Yeah.
all know Arsenal's striker situation.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be surprised if Arsenal signed DCL and you see the fruition and the flow of the state of play in Arsenal's attack decrease. Because what Lacazette is doing, linking up, dropping deep, really combining with Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard behind him. Don't be surprised if Arsenal sign a technically deficient striker. Calvert-Lewin isn't the most technically deficient striker, but he's not the best on the ball. He's more of just lob it up to him and let him jump 6 feet higher and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's where I'm really interested to see who
I
you
don't
guys
want
sign,
that.
just because I think Vlahovic on the eye, like if you just look at him as his build, he's probably like, oh, he's not good technically, but he's pretty good on the
Yeah.
ball.
And
If
Vlahovic.
Arsenal sign a player that isn't, don't be surprised, like I said, if this fruition, all these nice little combinations stop. So yeah.
I do agree with the Dominic Calvert-Lewin take because at moments I was excited for him, but at the same time I was kind of nervous for him. But one thing I will say, and this is the credit in the bank that at that time they do have, is whoever they sign, I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt because this past summer we were very like, this isn't like a now
Judgmental
team.
a little bit.
Yeah, this isn't a team that we're gonna win anything now. This is a team for the future, but I think we're ahead of schedule right now with our performances. Excuse me. What do you want?
Yangling.
Okay. All right. So the next game we have here is Crystal Palace. This one was the day to end the game week, which just made the league
So much
wide
tighter.
open. I mean, it's been wide open, but now it's like the door is literally wide open for anybody to walk through at this point. Crystal Palace 0, Man City 0. Title race is intense right now. LFC are now 3 points behind with the game in hand, and they still play at the Etihad. So, like Nick said, Salah said it himself too. It's in their hands to lose. Dominant, but no execution in the final third for Man City yet again. You see that a lot with them. Not a lot, but when they don't get the result, it's usually because they just can't find the final ball. Crystal Palace also had great opportunities. Patrick Vieira is doing great things with that team right now. But Nick, seeing this Man City performance, do you think there's more to take out of this than just the 0-0?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and any drop points for City apart from the Etihad is crazy. I think they still have Wolves away to play, and they still have West Ham away to play, which is, we all know, is tricky fixtures for pretty much every single team in the league. But on this game, there was this tweet I remember seeing. I think it's Sean Doe LOC on Twitter, and he was like, a couple years ago, you had Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling making runs in behind for 90 minutes a game, and now you have Riyad Mahrez and Jack Grealish playing Volta in front of you. City 2 years ago, I hate that I'm basing off. Like, what I'm trying to say, like, in games like this where everything gets so tough and like everything gets gritty. I made a script about Diogo Jota and how he's a poacher, but he needs more, and how Liverpool needs to go out for a false nine replacement, for Firmino. These games is like where players, like, you just need like Diogo Jota kind of players where he taps the ball in, where he just falls and he heads the ball in by accident or something like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, a couple years ago,
instinct in front
exactly.
of
A
goal.
couple years ago, they had Sergio Aguero, but now I just feel like they don't have that player who can just 0-0 for 90 minutes or 0-0 for 80 minutes. They fall over and just tap the ball in by accident. Like, they've never had that player. And I'm not basing it off this game, but I was just like, this is pretty interesting, just because, like I said, 2 years ago, City were just so dominant constantly. And they still are with players like Riyad Mahrez who can take players on, but I just feel like Pass was just like, damn, City they're still like, if we're comparing like a couple years ago, City were like, let's say 100% dominant. Now they're like, I'd say 90%, and which is not that much, but like in terms of like Premier League and whatnot,
How tight it is, yeah.
exactly. So it's a tad bit. So, but on Crystal Palace, Conor Gallagher,
I had
man,
him right here, yeah.
Dude, this guy is like, fuck, man. I'm so sick. Chelsea have him just
Well,
because.
He might not be there.
Oh well, that's a good point.
Where do you think he may go next?
I think he's a perfect Jurgen Klopp player.
Ah,
I mean, he's the most like.
Okay, let's just end it here.
If you think about one manager in the world who would want a player who runs 90 minutes, he literally in the interview he said, "I can't feel my legs right now."
No,
he has three legs. He has three.
I think there are a few managers.
Three lungs like Conte.
I think there are a few managers who, in the league right now, that I think base their football around that, which are Ragnick, Conte, Arteta, Pep, and Klopp. And I would say, I don't know about Jesse Marsh. Still got to watch him more, but I just feel like they're just run till your legs fall off. You know, press, and nonstop. So Conor Gallagher, I think, has a good set of options to pick from.
He should have had a goal at the end.
Yeah,
he should have had that goal at the end. He just came out of nowhere.
He had that he intercepted off of who, and he took it onto the end line, tried cutting it back to Zaha, but it was just short. So he's a great talent, and I'm hoping that Chelsea can keep a hold of him because of their ongoing issues. But yeah, I mean, wherever he goes, I think he's gonna.
I think he's like very versatile as well. Like I think a couple months ago, I was like, I wonder if he can play in a pivot, just because Chelsea playing a pivot right now with Jorginho, Conte, and Kovacic. I think he can. I don't think he's the best. Like he's good on the ball, but I don't think he's like technically as brilliant as Kovacic or Jorginho. But I think he's like I said, I think he's versatile. I think he play like box to box, more like as a reserved A, like a Gino Wijnaldum, where he just kind of plug the gaps in transition. He's like very versatile, and I think any team you put him in the world, I think he can excel pretty well.
He's the perfect Granit Xhaka upgrade.
Yeah,
the left side of the 8.
Yeah. That's
I think I would love to see that young English too. And
honestly, dude, I think any more than good center mid for you guys, I think just be perfect.
Yeah.
Like I think there's so many options.
There is
in the market right now. Like obviously you had Bruno Guimaraes before. Obviously Conor Gallagher. You still have Jacob Ramsey. There's just so many players that I think if you put them in Arsenal's team, like they don't have to be the most specific profile. I just think there's just so many profiles that Arsenal can pick and just plug them in. I think they'll do well and there'll be a huge upgrade on Granit Xhaka.
I'm excited for this summer, but yeah, man, Crystal Palace are doing the bits. Vieira doing the bits as well. So good on them for keeping Man City 0-0. I think they took 2 points off of City this year.
They won the first game.
They won the first game.
2-0.
Oh shit! So they got 4 points off of City.
This is the first they kept City scoreless this year.
That's a big season. Accomplishment for them.
2-0 and 0-0.
Wow.
City could not score.
Good. Gotta congratulate them, man. Good job on them on their part. Look, that's all we got for the Premier League recap. Now that we went over all the results, Marco, can you give us an update as to where we stand with our predictions?
All right. So, actually, Eric, you did really well this week.
Should have bet.
You should have, but out of the 7 games, you got 6 points. Now, mind you, you did get two of the games. You got the right call and the right scoreline.
Okay.
So you got 6 points out of 7 games. Josue had 5. I had 4. Got 3, and Nico 2. Overall, we've only done this 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, you have 16 points. I have 15, and then we go down to Nico and Gat with 9 and Josue with 8.
Nick, we got to step our game up, Nick.
So you and I should start betting, bro.
We're tight right now.
We're not only tight. We should start putting $5 in.
Look. Just for like actual betting parlays. Yeah, I agree with that.
But if it's for those trophies, Josue is the closest one. Even though he had a really good week this week, he's the closest one to the toilet.
I think what we're gonna do going forward is every time we do predictions, not today, but like except for next time, every time we do predictions, we'll do
welcome to the gulag.
I didn't think about that. We'll like do the actual bets or parlays as we do it as we're recording.
Yeah,
so.
we can do that.
Yeah,
just tell everybody not to gamble.
Yeah, gamble responsibly, and make sure you're over the
1-800 gambler.
All right, so look, you guys want to do Premier League predictions or the Champions League predictions first?
I think Champions League.
All right, Champions League.
Do Champions League because then next podcast we can worry about the whopping 4 games.
Yeah, right. Well, as far as Prem predictions, I only meant for the ones for this Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Because there's 2 games on Wednesday. So for Champions League, we got well, you know what? Let's do it with Lille versus Chelsea first. Well, assuming Chelsea can make it to the game, and there's a game, then
so funny.
I'm enjoying it. I'm sorry, but Lille versus Chelsea.
What was the first leg?
2-0.
2-0
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Right?
Chelsea. I mean, I'm gonna give it to Chelsea.
Yeah, give me 1-1.
No.
No.
I can
Marco?
see a no as well.
It's gonna be a 2-2.
Okay.
So it's gonna be aggregate 4-2.
Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid.
I honestly have no freaking clue.
So are we gonna get the Ronaldo we saw against Spurs, or did all the juice run out in that game?
I think we're gonna get the Ronaldo we got against Spurs. I think it was a huge game for us, and just all that momentum, especially since it's at Old Trafford again. I'm hoping we get the same performance.
Okay, so you guys drew the first game, right?
Yeah, 1-1.
So yeah, so
1-1. It's make it or break it.
the score.
2-1.
Yeah, I think this game is literally smack down 50-50.
I think it will be.
I trust Atletico more to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
But this
that's where I'm
season
at
they've been
too.
kind of shaky.
Oblak.
Joao Felix has been kicking up lately. Man, I think away at the Wanda, United were just suffocating the midfield. Like Jeffrey Kondogbia and Rodrigo De Paul, like they suffocated Paul Pogba. Fuck, dude. Give me 1-0 United.
Marco?
Bro, I mean, I had to agree with Nick and it's a lot of what he said. I feel like any other year, this would have been a easy walk away for Atletico.
Easy 2-0.
Yeah, but their performance and you never know what Man United's going to come and do. If they're going to be really, really bad or like somehow really, really good. It's hard to tell. Based on the fact that it's an Old Trafford, I'm leaning more to United going to walk away with it with one goal, and it could be a Ronaldo goal. I'll give it to Ronaldo 1-0. And I hate saying it because I prefer Atletico to pass at this point.
Yeah, no. I mean, Ronaldo, Old Trafford, it's kind of raining in the stars. It feels like
a header.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give it 2-1. I'm sorry, Manchester United to win this game.
I really hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong too, but it feels like it's written in the stars right now for it to happen.
Yeah,
so.
man, it kind of does suck.
So let's take it over to the Prem. We have 2 games on Wednesday, and then we got a couple on Thursday, I believe Friday, and then 4 on the weekend. You guys said. The first one I got here is Brighton hosting Spurs.
1-1.
Yeah, you agree with that?
Yeah, I kind of do. But just based on the inconsistency, late winner by Brighton, 2-1.
No, from Malpe.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like what Josue said this past weekend was that you never know what you're gonna get, and this past one was the bad Spurs, so I think this one's gonna be the good Spurs.
So it wasn't a bad Spurs this past.
I mean,
one.
in the sense that they lost, and they were like it's kind of been like give and take. So I want to say the Spurs gonna win this one and win 3-1.
All right, I'm gonna give it a draw 2-2 as well. And then probably the game of the week, Arsenal versus Liverpool. I think this one we can probably break down just a little bit more, just because it is a little Benchwarmer derby right here. I kind of want to kill Nick right now, but I'm nervous, man. Marco, I'm shaking in my boots.
I'm nervous.
Look, in my mind, I know what to expect, but I'm not gonna say it out loud. So if you know what I'm saying, there, you know what I'm saying. If you know, you know.
You know.
But my heart is telling me, just put it into the universe, and it may happen. All right. It's again. I mentioned it earlier. Cedric is gonna be if he plays, he's gonna have a nightmare. It's gonna really come down to again Partey Odegaard making sure they're consistent, and I think Martinelli's gonna have a huge part to play in keeping Trent busy. You know, getting in behind him, making sure he doesn't put those lethal balls in. But yeah, man, it's a scary game. Again, my mind knows
where it's gonna go,
but my heart
saying something else.
Is saying put it into the universe and it may happen. 1-1. I know it's gonna be a loss, but
I think this game has 2-2 written all over it.
Wrong energy in the universe right now.
2-2.
Yeah, I was thinking 2-2 as well. This is going to be a really good fucking game.
I think so.
You
this is a good measuring test for Arsenal.
You have the fight for the title and the fight for top four.
And they're both in top form right now. And the only thing that Liverpool have, which is not only is a big thing, it's quality of players, experience, and they're just know what they're doing more, I would say, than Arsenal, because we're still kind of learning the system. We're still adapting to the team. Players still adapting to each other. But Marco, what do you feeling here?
I'm going based strictly on heart on this one. Um, I'm gonna be as hopeful as possible. I'm gonna say Arsenal wins with 2-1.
2-1. Okay.
This is gonna be a good game. I have a feeling this might be
Arsenal
this might
Liverpool
be
always
the
good games.
I have the feeling this might be like the perfect game for you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you guys just might want it more.
and I'm really eager to see how the kids come out.
I don't know if we want it more just because Liverpool are so close to catching up to Man
We both
City.
want it. We both want
But
it.
yeah, I mean, no, I just don't. I can see we want it for different reasons.
Yeah.
But I think we want it equally.
Yeah.
It's just that in my heart,
Yeah.
I feel, and of course, this is bias of me too, being at home, the way that the fans have been
Yeah,
recently
that's a huge point. It's a huge point.
going at it with the players. Again, purely heart. I'm saying 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'm definitely hoping we get a point out of these next matchups because we got Aston Villa on the weekend, which is not an easy one either.
No.
But that's all we got for today. Anything you guys want to get off your chest? Anything you want to?
Two things.
What's up, bro? Talk to me.
One of them, actually, it's simple. It sucks a little bit, but at the same time, it kind of shows where the state of he's at right now. Benzema surpasses Henry on goals for France, the most goal scorer for France. 411 was Henry's. I think Benzema just did
For France or
412
for as a French player?
as a French player for club and country.
Okay, because for France, he never played. He barely played. Benzema.
He played, but until the
Ba-
scandal,
yeah.
and then he went back. But it's club and country.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean,
it's which is crazy. Based off this week plus today's game.
how old is he?
34.
I gotta see when Henry actually hung up the boots, but he played on Rebels for a while. But yeah, whatever. What was the other one?
And the other one was I was reading. I was laughing of it. Fakir's 10-second red card.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that.
Bro,
I
you gotta
saw-
watch it, bro.
He was juggling the ball.
Like he was in a game, in the middle of the game. He was juggling the ball. He made a nice pass. They laid it off so he can make the run. He made the run. They tackled him. They hurt him, quote unquote, hurt him. And then the guy comes up. I don't know if he says something to him or taps him on the face.
There's something happened, some kind of altercation, and then Fakir just whips his leg around
Kicks him.
and just
Nice.
sweeps his legs out from under him
There you go. That was
immediately.
it.
But now,
Right.
what was hilarious, and I can't find the angle. There was a comment on, I think it was Twitter that I saw it. Someone said that there's an angle exists where the other player tugs on Fakir's beard, and that's what set him off.
It's a trigger.
It was-
It's a legit trigger.
I hope that's true because that's just hilarious.
Imagine. I think that would trigger somebody. I don't
Hell
know.
yeah.
What else would you be right now?
Bro, I'll definitely punch you like right here.
You see, he's already getting triggered just thinking about it.
So that's what I was looking up, and I was like, I
That's
thought it was
crazy.
funny.
That's fine. So look up that video of Fakir, and send it to me because I haven't seen it yet. I want to see that. But with all that being said, that's all we got for today. And if you're watching this on YouTube or on Instagram, whatever, you probably see these scars that I have above my head. And Nico said we want to, continue this going, but we're also broke. So meaning we don't have that many scars. If you have any scars from the Premier League or from any other club across Europe, we'd appreciate it if you want to donate it to us. We'll hang it up here. This is gonna be the Premier League wall. That's gonna be the European club wall. That's not Premier League, I guess. But yes. So
So Premier League wall, everything else.
everything else. Yeah. So we're constantly, changing things around. If you want to, have something out up here that represents you and your country or your club, let us know. We'll gladly put it up there. With all that being said, we are the Benchwarmers, the bench of the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.